So as we've discussed Monday and Tuesday, this whole week goes together, doesn't it? Because bullies have been my hot button forever. We talked about that Monday. And the hate they carry in their heart is what we talked about on Wednesday. And what you end up with is a bunch of angry people. And the world does not need any more negativity in any capacity. Because there are certain things that are going to happen beyond the control of certain regulations and policies. But in other words, the economy is going to keep on trucking. The religious and political community are going to keep on trucking. Everyone's going to keep on trucking, okay? But what I don't understand is we get so angry when something doesn't maybe go our way, when we're seeing something we don't like. So these bullies filled with hatred now spew out more negativity. So maybe the economy is down in this capacity over here. And maybe, we could do better politically and maybe getting back to when I feel like we used to get along. I feel like there used to be a dignity. I don't discuss politics. That's all I'm going to say. But it's just different now than it was 40 years ago, what we used to watch on television and such. I just feel the anger is so prevalent. It's palpable. People are angry. And that has to come from the hate in the heart that we discussed Wednesday. And that oftentimes will lead to spewing out the negativity we've discussed all week and adding more negativity to a world that's already working through what can happen without calculation. In other words, we can't control weather. This isn't a global warming discussion. Look how careful you've got to be. I'm afraid to say anything. But what I mean is there are certain things that are coming our way that could be negative, that we can't control. Why don't we all try to at least, I picture like the whole globe, if every single person at one time started to act more positively than negatively and all hate stopped cold, do you know how much the world would change? Think about that ripple effect, because I can. It doesn't mean we have to agree. That's not what this means. No. I had a very polite conversation with a friend about a week ago. We both said at one point in the topic, we'll just have to agree to disagree on that. But it never got angry. I didn't. No. So you can disagree, but the anger is the part that I'd like to see start to have a decrease. I don't like it that everyone's so angry. I don't like it that people get angry at the things that I see that should make them happy. So why are they angry? What's the hate from? And if you know that you're a person that walks around angry, and you know if you are, because your brow is furrowed and your arms are folded and you're, like I said, poised for battle and ready to have an argument with someone, or maybe even pick an argument with someone, or jump into someone else's argument that they're having with another person. If you are that kind of my hands are cold, I have the wall open. If you're that kind of person or you know a kind of person like that, look at it. Don't just accept it like I had a right to be that way and you had to hear them. That's what I'm talking about. That attitude is the anger I'm talking about. So if that's what you're saying, yes, I think you should look at that. I did. I went through this whole period where I worked on myself. I was never a bully, never spread hate. Don't do that. But I had I used to get like a righteous, like I should tell them how to be. And they're not you. Somebody's not going to be like you. They're not you. If you want to teach them something constructive, maybe they're going to take your advice if it's good advice. I bought a pair of hair cutting shears off Amazon. It arrives tonight. It's in a little case. I'm very excited. That was advice. Some of it came in the form of hate. But that's advice I took. I was like, you know what, Renee? Why haven't you? I've never, ever thought about it. Never. Isn't that funny? I just grab whatever scissors are around. And I have my favorites that work better. And so my cousin would be like, grab the ones you like, but now I have an actual hair. So I'm saying you can learn, you can teach people, but it doesn't have to be angry or yelling at each other. You can very, very healthfully discuss things and try to make somebody see a different way. I mentioned once that, okay, so I have an Italian mother and a French father. My mother knows she's a yeller. She was a yeller. And we are in Rhode Island loud people anyway. And she yelled, screamed, and hollered, and that's what she did. She's an Italian, strong, formidable woman. My dad's like a stoic Frenchman. Love bug, but doesn't yell. So if anybody disagrees with him, he doesn't get angry. I don't see him get angry. He just sits back and he goes, change my mind. And he waits. He gives a shot, like, change my mind. Whatever the topic is. So if you want to debate him, and maybe you'll win and maybe you won't, but he gives you a chance. He's not angrily spewing out like his beliefs and you need to believe this way. And he's changed my mind. He's not going to debate his beliefs. He knows his beliefs. He's not here to make you believe what he believes. He doesn't care what you believe. You have a right to believe what you believe. But if you are trying to make him believe what you want, he just says, change my mind. You follow me? But there's no anger. And it's the screaming at each other to try to make a point. The angry people, I think, are sucking the air out of the room. So if we think of the globe as a room, there's a lot of negativity, as I've just explained, lengthily, with too many words. But there's enough negativity in the world already that we can't control. So I feel like the globe of people, there's a certain amount of air in the room, in the globe, and you're sucking air out of the globe that we could all use for other things. So you're adding negativity to the space. And if you've noticed, I just don't even want to get involved in the hate comments anymore. So only once in a while, if I feel like I would want my comment on there in response to it for others to read, lest they think they can do the same thing, then I might comment and have it up there as my opinion so that, they can see, oh, she's already gotten hate for this. She's already responded. But even I've stopped. It doesn't do anything. People are angry. Angry. And I just encourage anyone who feels that way to look at the truth of themselves, to look at people around you. And if you know someone like that, reach out to them. Ask them what's wrong. Be honest with them. Don't laugh along with their bullying and their hate and their negativity and their negative posts and look what I wrote back, and don't laugh and encourage them. Be honest with them. That's not nice. I don't care who it is. There's no way anyone can say, objectively, that is not nice. Oh no, you have to see he was funny. No. There's a way to be clever. There's a way to be clever. And there's a way to be funny. And there's a way to even insult people and be funny. This isn't about that either. This is about anger and how much I'm shocked how much people carry and have all the time, it seems, about every topic. Everywhere you turn, there's hate and anger and bullies. And I think it's really something that, as a world, as a collective unit, I'd love to see go away. And again, I'm sorry, I detest keep referring to like yesteryear, but again, because this whole week's related, I just don't remember things being like this 40 years ago. Like when I was 16, I was in high school 40 years ago. I don't remember all of this. I really don't. Now again, it's prevalent because of course we have on the line, and so you see it. So you might say, well, 40 years ago, there were no computer. And of course, that's all true. But I'm talking newspapers and things that we used then. I don't remember all of this kind of hate. Maybe because it wouldn't have gotten published in a newspaper. You could take out, today happens to be Valentine's Day that I'm filming. You could take out like little ads in a newspaper, Happy Valentine's Day, and like you hope your person that you hope they see it or stuff like this. But you couldn't take out hate ads. Like, so, no, you're right. There was nothing like that. Well, but guess what? Maybe there was a reason. It felt like a kinder time. It just did. And I feel like people weren't out to get each other. I feel now when you walk into a room, there could be, like, it used to be like, hey, how's it going? This is so-and-so. And it was all like a friendly, like a movie like you watch. Now it's like people like whisper and they're in corners and I watch people. When they come into a room, when a new person comes into the room, I look around a room and see what people do. And they're like, it's odd. It feels different. The undercurrent feels different, like we're all pocketed against each other. Whereas aren't we one big collective unit? We're all trying our best, trying to live our lives, be happy, put our best foot forward, and hopefully add positive to the earth. Okay, it took me all week to rant on this. I think I'm done. But I appreciate you indulging me because these topics are very important to put on the table and they can't be ignored because they're not just going to go away. I thank you so much for watching all week. I hope you have a good weekend and I will see you Monday.